Just a few days ago, I put out my ultimate guide for Crusaders, sharing with you 4 different builds that I used throughout my time as a Crusader. Since then, I've swapped classes to the Druid, but I was just introduced to an insane build for the Crusader that I never personally used, but that I have to share with you. So here we are. This is actually Givler's account, and he's showing this dash focused Crusader build. And it's important that you know that when you use the horse as a Crusader, it actually lessens the damage that you do against any of the bosses or enemies. So what he's utilizing here is something that most players don't use, which is a dash on the horse, strictly utilizing the horse for mobility, and then utilizing the other skills for the damage. So he's got crazy quick movement and a ton of damage as well. As you can see, he's at just under 500 million damage, as he's at the midpoint here of the Tome of Fahir. Once I show you the complete breakdown of how much damage he does throughout this run, I'm also going to show you the items that he's using so that you guys can put this build together yourself. And as you can see, just taking down the mid-boss, he's just about at 800 million damage, utilizing a Crusader, which is pretty good. Now, some people may say he's playing with lower players or he's just able to soak up all that damage, but when you take a look, the players that he's playing with right here are not low-level players, so he's not stealing all the damage, although having the mobility with the horse allows him to get to enemies quicker and drop all of that damage on those enemies that can burn over time and essentially get him a ton more damage. So now he's rushing over to the boss, and what he's just going to be doing is popping all of his abilities. He's over 1 billion damage at this point in time, and quickly the boss goes down with a total of 1.1 billion damage. As you can see right here as well, he is sitting with this current build just over 9,000 resonance from his gems. And here he's giving us a little bit of a feature of the green set items that he's wearing. Notice everything has, actually that one didn't. I was going to say everything has fortitude on it, although one did have vitality. And then he's going to briefly go through all the legendary pieces of gear. He's got some legit gems. A rank of a 5 out of 5-star Haunt Coil, Colossus Engine. He's actually using Misery Elixir, which is one I was using but took out. A Roiling Consequence. He's got the Blood-Soaked Jade up in there as well. What does he have? He has the brand new gem as well, the Faded Trail, which is already at a rank 10, my god. Pain Clasp, and his final gem is Chip of Stone Flesh. All rank 10s, but notice the Pain Clasp that he has in there as well as the other Misery one. His potency is 11,000 plus, and that's what you really want to focus on when you're playing as a Crusader. It's actually insane. Here he goes, a little bit of a highlight of his familiars as well, as you would expect, some fairly high level familiars on this account. And he's using the Slinger Paragon Tree, and you could see some of the items that he's using on the side, and he is going with this right here, Legendary Skill. Here we have an overview of all of the gear that he's wearing, and you can see the charm has Falling Sword damage plus 6%, Judgment plus 10% damage, Shield Glare plus 6%, Condemn plus 8%, and Sacred Fire plus 4. That is a pretty impressive charm. Let's take a quick look here at his set items. He's wearing a 4-piece of Agmets, he's wearing a 2-piece of Feasting Barons, and a 2-piece of Vathu. So it's actually surprising that he's not utilizing the new set that just dropped in the game, which many Crusaders are using, including myself. And now for his legendary equipment, let's actually break down what the essences are doing. Shield Glare now burns enemies for 17,000 damage over 4 seconds is the helm. The chestplate Condemn now conjures a condensed lightning storm that follows you. We all use that one as well. Judgment now calls bolts of fire falling continuously in the air around you, burning random enemies. Those are the shoulders. Drawn Quarter now causes you to mount your horse and dash forward a short distance, knocking back enemies in your path. That's something that makes this build much different, adding that mobility that most Crusader builds don't have, at least not to that extent. Sacred Fire, you have both, you have 2 of the same that I typically use as well. Sacred Fire now hurls waves of flames. for the primary attack, and Sacred Fire ignites enemies, burning them for 20,000 damage over 2 seconds. The Horn Splitter, both for primary. And then here, very similar to what we use, is the Condemn immediately triggers all continual damage on targets it hits. You'll see all Crusaders utilizing that for that big damage from the second hand item. And then Shield Glare now surrounds you with an area of radiant justice for several seconds, during which enemies within are automatically attacked and blinded. All right, so those are the essences that you're going to be looking for to put this build together. Now, Gilver talks about these gloves, Luminary's Urge, stating that they are so good that he'll probably be wearing them into Inferno 11. Notice it's a triple attribute, with Fortitude being that first attribute. The combat rating is as high as you can get, 2848. And the magic attributes are: damage to enemies suffering from loss of control is increased by 10%, and skill cooldowns are reduced by 4%. So keep those types of things in mind when you're looking at the green items that you may be crafting or that you may be dropping, and maybe don't get rid of them so early if you get a great drop like this one. Now, jumping back over to my account, because I did not switch to Druid yet, that's something I'm going to be doing tonight. A lot of the things that are being worn here are similar to what others wear in their builds, but there are some differences. So Sheared Glare burns enemies, Condemn is the lightning in a bottle, we have Trial by Fire, Judgment now calls down bolts of fire, but here's where it's different. I was doing Draw and Quarter now calls down a Horse of Light, causing those to stand within the aura to take more damage. He was using that dash ability right over there. The primary weapons that we're utilizing are the same, as are the secondary weapons. So really the only difference here is the lightning in a bottle. I'm sorry, not lightning in a bottle, is the light charger, as well as the gems that are being used, because I am no longer utilizing any 1 or 2 star gems, which actually could be preventing me personally on the Crusader build that I'm running right now from getting more damage. Now, let me introduce you to something. Over the next few months, my journey is going to change every 2 weeks. The plan is for me, in my next video, or you may have seen it yesterday, I don't know how it's going to drop, I am switching over to the Druid class. I'm going to play as the Druid for 2 weeks. During that time, I'm going to farm as many essences as I can. I'm going to do as many guides as I can, putting together what I believe are the best builds for the class, as well as interview someone that is a master of that class. It's basically a new mini series, which is going to be starting every 2 weeks as I swap to a new class every single time. And as I go through, you'll get to see that class featured, as well as get my opinions on how that class stacks up in the current meta to other classes. Is it worth playing, or should you play something different? So far, I love the Crusader. We're going to have to see, though, if the Druid is able to take that top reigning spot, because we will be class changing, and that is exciting, because you know it always brings new gameplay. And as you saw from our video last week, the Druid drops some insane damage right now utilizing that deer build. More to come. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. I hope this was a valuable one for you, and you could make your Crusader even more beastly. See you tomorrow.